to dispel some of those misconceptions about people on disability. So let's talk about the disability program, what it does for people who need help.
Yeah. So the big thing we want to focus on today is the faces behind this program, who actually gets it.
Yeah.
And like you say, there's a big stigma out there of people who think that this is really only for people who want a handout or people who can't or won't take care of themselves. And the truth is that nothing could be further from the truth. This program, you can't even get on it unless you've paid into the system long enough, you've been paying taxes to draw on the benefits.
I see. So this couldn't be someone who's just sitting at home and says, I don't feel like working, so I'll just get on disability.
Exactly.
It doesn't work that way.
Not at all. So in order to kind of demonstrate what I'm talking about, I brought along a friend. Her name's Tammy.
Okay.
And she couldn't be in studio with us today, but we brought along her story.
Okay.
And she is a prior insurance auditor who kind of got caught in an accident at work that removed her ability to make a living. So we're going to have a look at her.
Yeah, let's listen in right now to her story.
I went to answer a phone and they had a plastic runner that part was tacked down and part wasn't. I got my knee caught in there, and before I could get it unhooked, I came down and it shattered it. At that point, life started changing. My life consisted of being restricted. The hardest one that has happened is when the 3 oldest grandkids were born. I could still do everything with them. I watched them. It didn't slow me down just because of my leg. When Dr. Metcalf said, the shoulder is where it's at, it's not coming back. It was like, at that point, it hit me. Never before would I have ever claimed or said that I was disabled, because I didn't feel that there were so many other people out there that needed it worse than I did. I guess talking to my family and my friends, and they made me believe that I was not going to be less than if I admitted it, and I went and I filed for disability. It's changed my life already. In 2 months, it's already made it so much easier. It may not be that you've lost a leg, an arm. It may be that you've got something going on inside. They'll tell you whether you've even got any chance or not.
Incredible story there. And you just heard from Tammy. She was at work when the accident happened with her leg, and then you lose a leg. That would qualify you to be on disability, but the perception is still there.
Right. And one of the things we're trying to help people understand is, if you have been in an accident, if you have an injury or an illness that's going to keep you out of work for at least 12 months, this is the program for you. Now, we weren't able to show all of Tammy's story here today because of time constrictions, but if you go onto our website, you can see the whole thing.
So you can see the whole story and see how you guys were able to help her get on the program that's needed. So who's a good candidate? If someone's sitting at home right now, they're struggling, maybe themselves, they know someone, who would qualify? Great
question. So we're looking at people who are going to be out of work for at least 12 months or more. So to give you an example of things we see all the time, we see multiple sclerosis, ALS, Parkinson's disease, traumatic brain injury, knee injuries, spinal injuries, and those are the big ones.
Is it difficult to move cases forward? I mean, when you think about having to bring an attorney in, you think maybe there's some pushback on the other side.
There's a lot of pushback on the other side, and you're going to be denied a few times before you get a real shot.
Wow.
But the message I want to communicate here today is to the people who may think that their situation isn't severe enough to get onto the benefits. If you've been working your whole life and you've been paying taxes, this program is for you. This is for the people who need help.
And if you think of the history of disability in this country, we didn't used to have this option.
That's right. President Roosevelt in the 1930s really started to evolve this, and it's kind of evolved a lot over time, but we are where we are today as a result of what he was doing.
Now, there are going to be some at home that are saying, okay, what about the people who are faking it or the fraud? How much of a percentage is that out of all the cases?
That's another great question. The administration is working hard to make sure that things like this aren't happening, and the national statistics show that less than 1% of cases have any kind of problem. So they've dedicated a lot of resources, and we're pulling them out of bit at a time.
Yeah, you always have that. It's a small number, the minority of people, but they get to decide how the rest of everybody in that group is treated or looked at.
The one bad apple ruins the whole bushel, like they say.
That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so if someone's at home, they're like, this is me, this is my mom, this is someone I know. How can they get in contact with you?
So if they go to our website, utah.disabilitybook.com,
okay,
they can get a free copy of our book, and it outlines the process, what it's going to take, what you have to prove, and where you can get help.
All right, there it is on your screen right now. We'll put a link to that on our website at goodforutah.com. Jake, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
Still ahead in entertainment news, Khloe Kardashian is opening up to People magazine about her hospital visit to Lamar